Sinners and Saints, How Gospel Created American Music. Let's cut to the chase. How many of y'all done watched Sinners at least twice like I did? Be honest. Man, the last time I was in the theater, I could have sworn I saw folks pulling out pencils and notepads like it was midterms at an HBCU. Folks wasn't just watching, they was studying. Because that movie, it ain't just entertainment, it's a whole syllabus. Director Ryan Coogler didn't just drop a film, he dropped a spiritual mixtape wrapped in a Black history lecture. The characters feel like folks we know. Church aunties, struggling prodigals, that one cousin who swore they were the next Marvin Gaye. Sammy's story? That hit home. How many real-life artists, just like him, left the choir stand and got labeled a sinner for chasing what people call the devil's music? Just like Sammy in Sinners, real artists faced a powerful choice. Stay anchored in gospel's sacred halls, or step into the secular world, risking everything to create something entirely new. Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke started with the Soul Stirrers, recording gospel classics like Jesus Gave Me Water and Touch the Hem of His Garment. His voice was velvet, baptized in grace, but Sam, like Sammy in Sinners, felt the tension. Church leaders warned him, don't leave the Lord's music. But when he released You Send Me and The Change Is Gonna Come, he became the father of soul and the soundtrack of the civil rights era. Critics called him a sellout. The church grieved his crossover. But Sam knew what Sammy suspected. The same spirit that moved you on Sunday could move the world on any day. Artha Franklin. Artha Franklin was gospel royalty, the daughter of Reverend C.L. Franklin. At just 14, she recorded songs like Precious Lord and Never Grow Old. Her voice could make the walls tremble. But Artha, like Sammy, dreamed bigger. With Respect and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, she took that gospel fire global. Some churchgoers saw her success as strain, others saw it as a miracle. Either way, Artha proved that gospel wasn't about genre, it was about soul, and she had more soul than anyone alive. Ray Charles. Ray Charles came straight out of gospel, blind, brilliant, and bursting with rhythm. As a child, he played hymns like This Little Light of Mine with pure spirit. But when he released I Got a Woman and What Did I Say?, he faced brutal backlash from the Black church. Pastors called it sacrilege, said he had stolen the Lord's music for juke joints and sin. But Ray believed music wasn't sacred or sinful. It was truthful. And gospel's honesty lived in every chord he ever played. Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Before Elvis, before Chuck Berry, there was Sister Rosetta Tharpe. A gospel prodigy, she tore up church stages with songs like Strange Things Happening Every Day and Up Above My Head. Then she did the unthinkable. She plugged in her electric guitar and invented rock and roll. Religious leaders condemned her, said she brought the devil into the church. But Rosetta just smiled and kept playing. Like Sammy, she refused to choose between faith and freedom. She knew the Lord's music didn't need permission. It needed volume. Little Richard. Little Richard was a preacher's nightmare and gospel's wildest child. He grew up singing Just a Closer Walk with Thee in Macon, Georgia, but his spirit could barely be contained. When he hit the world with Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally, it was church music, just set on fire. Churches called him sinful. His family disowned his path. But Richard said, God gave me the beat. Like Sammy, he stood at the pulpit, then ran straight through the back wall. Mavis Staples. Mavis Staples never left gospel. She just expanded it. With the Staples Singers, she sang Uncloudy Day and Will the Circle Be Unbroken, hymns passed down through generations. But when they released Respect Yourself and I'll Take You There, they crossed over with a message still drenched in faith and justice. The church didn't criticize, it celebrated. Mavis showed, like Sammy dreamed, that you could bring the choir into the world and still sing the truth. And there were more, so many more. Ruth Brown, gospel girl turned Atlantic Records' first queen.
If I go to church on Sunday. Yeah, all right.
Joe Tex. The sermon became a soul groove. Percy Sledge, who sang gospel sorrow into When a Man Loves a Woman. Betty Wright, who carried the choir into Funky, Fearless Soul. Denise LaSalle, who told the truth, even when the church doors closed behind her. Each one stood at a crossroads, like Sammy, and each one chose to carry gospel, not as baggage, but as flame. For Sammy and sinners, leaving the church meant leaving everything behind. But the truth? These artists never left the church. They carried its fire into the world. They turned spirituals into soul. They turned praise into protest. They turned pain into poetry. Gospel didn't disappear. It echoed through Ray's piano, through Aretha's roar, through Rosetta's riffs. Without gospel, there's no American music. Every beat that moves you, every note that breaks your heart, it's gospel. Still singing, still saving, still alive. Which artist's story touched your soul? Drop a comment, share this message, and hit subscribe to honor the spirit that never dies.